Welcome back in, flag throwers. It is a special episode with a very, very, very special guest. And now, with his second time on the program, he's now a friend of the program, in my opinion.
Oh.
And he's got the coolest name in baseball, the Fort Michael McKenry, former Pirates catcher. Fort, what's up, my guy?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. And we're still kind of on the fritz as friend. We'll see how the podcast goes. I think the third podcast is friend. You know?
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know. I think it's just a friend situation podcast ship or something.
All right, so I'm going to put that in the notes to set up the third podcast before you leave.
It's like the second
set
date,
up the
Cole.
third episode before you leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm good though. I just had knee surgery. I told you guys offset. Had some complications. It was wild, crazy allergic reaction. Spent 6 days in the ICU. Didn't tell you guys that offset. Want to see your actual reaction. So yeah, it's been a wild journey. So I'm just chilling, about to talk ball with you guys, and excited about it.
Holy shit, dude, man! Thank God, man, that all that worked out. That's crazy. You said that you had complications. You didn't say it was that serious. So I'm very grateful to God that you pulled through.
I
all
appreciate
that,
it. Yeah, it was wild. It's my third time having allergic reaction after a surgery. Couldn't figure it out, but we've changed stuff every time. So this time was awful. I spent some time in the ER last time. This time they sent me the burn unit. It was really bad. So gonna figure it out, and it'll be interesting what caused it. But yeah, the knee's great. It's been a blessing. Reminds me my age sometimes, but I'm not gonna stop. Can't stop.
No, absolutely can't stop. But man, so that's the whole point of the podcast is that life sucks sometimes, and that we're trying to be an escape for people. So I'm glad this can be that for you with going through rehab and whatnot, because we know that rehabs can absolutely suck at times. But without further ado,
absolutely.
man, let's get into it. So, Luke, this is more your segment, dude. If you want to take it over.
Oh, hey, don't be scared, Cole, to go around the league. I've been able to keep up a little bit better since I'm on the shelf a little bit. So yeah, let's talk about it all. I think baseball's in a weird and interesting place.
It is.
I agree.
But the last time we had you on for it, I think that what we kind of ended it with, you kind of said, this was probably offset, you kind of said, if and when the Pirates make some moves, this was back in November before we did anything, like to hit you up, and now we've had this awesome offseason, so I'm just really excited to talk to you about that. So, of all the off seasons that you've kind of seen with the Pirates, is this the best one? I mean, we've had all these, good additions. The team looks a lot better than what it was last year, especially on the offensive side. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts overall on the Pirates off season.
I think for the fans it was the best one. I think for solving one glaring need, they pretty much knocked it out of the park in a lot of ways. Time will tell, because this is a different way to go about it than they've ever done it before, right? They are trying to buy the wins. And that's different, right? Now the questions start coming in. We got to stay healthy, right? We still have great depth, but a lot of young guys that would be unproven, and then that creates a lot of question marks. So yes, I think it's incredible, all the things that they were involved in. I think they did a great job with the PR scene. Whether they were in on Schwarber or not doesn't matter. I think that PR started a national attention on the Pirates. I think they got out in front of it and said, we're going to do more, and we're going to get spending more. They still are. They can't be done. They have a glaring need that they have to fill in a starting pitcher.
That's right.
I hope Mike Clevenger becomes Mike Clevenger. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you have 10 guys you can kind of trust to come in. And if we get up to that 110, 115 mark, I think we'd be in a great place. The question is then, how do we get a guy if we need it down the road? And the question was answered very easily with us having the best prospect pool in all of baseball. So eventually we're going to have to give up to go up. But I do like a lot of the moves that they made. But it's going to be very interesting how they play it all out. The roster crunch and the at-bats, and trying to figure out how to put guys in the right spots with the guys that are going to play every day. It's going to be very fun baseball-wise, but it's going to be very tough at times for the fans, I think. I really do.
Okay. So you talked about, the glaring need of, a starting pitcher, that fifth starter. That's one of the questions I had on my list. Who, with the roster that we have as of right now, if we don't make any more moves, who do you think that fifth starter would be come opening day?
Probably Clevenger.
You think so? Okay.
Possibly Majinski. I think we're better suited with Majinski and Barco in the bullpen, and then be
definitely.
kind of on, on standby when needed. But at the same time, it makes our bullpen incredibly strong, and it also protects some of these young guys that are, have never pitched in the big leagues. They've never thrown more than 120 innings. You're talking about asking these guys to go to 180. If we get to the playoffs, you're talking about maybe 190, 200. That's a huge, huge jump. So you're going to see a lot of guys get 4 innings and out. Now, if we have 2 to 3 guys that can fill those innings, it's huge. But I think having a Clevenger or signing, I think the signing's going to have to happen. Whether you go get a Tyler Anderson or a Quintana, it doesn't matter. I think both those guys are very serviceable, and I think they pitch great at PNC Park. I would love to see them go get Max Scherzer.
I was kind of thinking Scherzer
forgetting about Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max is out there. I think there's one phone call, and he's on the team for the most team-friendly deal on the planet. They would have to spend really close to what they just did on Verlander, but they could defer that money because Max is very involved in MLB PA, so he's not going to take a discount for the future of the PA. That's just his mindset. So I would just love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that because there's more wins on that than just a guy coming in that can still pitch well. I mean, you're talking about a guy that Skeens could look to and say, I would love to have that dude's career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, unfortunately, Fort, Jose Quintana did sign with the Colorado Rockies for only $6 million.
When?
So, yesterday, I do believe.
Yesterday, yeah.
I did not see that.
That's who I wanted as our fifth starter.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring him back, but yeah, that one didn't really make much sense to me.
Well, good for him. Good for him. It's gonna be a tough place to pitch for him, but that's good for him.
Tomiyuki Sugano signed with the Rockies too. The starter that let up the most homers last year is now going to play half his games at Coors Field.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, the home runs aren't the issue though, and Colorado's in a bridge season too, so like they need guys like I'm saying that can pitch, more than anything. Like they need guys that can love on their youngsters. Like I think that's great strategic movement for Colorado. Like if they can go sign all veteran dudes and throw them out there and let them teach and help these guys grow, and also like you never know, when you have guys that have been around a long time, they may have a last spark in there, and then also you have the ability to trade them later on.
Yeah. True. I feel like Jose Quintana will get flipped.
Yeah, and the thing is, everybody assumes they're going to be there. Like he could have just signed that deal, go to spring training, and they could flip him before the spring training's over with. Like there's no guarantee. So like it could be that. Like it's crazy. This game is so wild when you get deeper and deeper into it because there's always a move with a move, and there's always more to the story than you think. And at the end of the day, it's just like, hey, let's just go play ball. That's what we want. That's what the fans want. But it's not anything like that behind the scenes and how it gets there.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that when we get to the Orioles questions later, but. Luke, I think you had a couple Pirates questions.
Forgot you're an Orioles guy, right? You guys have nailed. Albies is a absolute slam dunk for you guys. I'm excited for the Baltimore community and the people I know that are Orioles fans because that's going to be fun to watch. They're going to be really good this year.
Trust me, we're going to get into it, but I'll let Luke wrap up his Pirates questions before we move on.
Oh, get into it. He'll be talking about this for hours. There's so many things they've done. They are number 1 or 2 right now in all national attention because of all the craziness, good, bad, ugly. It's just been a wild offseason for the Buccos.
All right, well, then I guess I'll ask the one Pirates question that I have. Do you think Konnor Griffin is going to make the opening day roster?
But, I mean, let me ask you this. Who's better?
Than Konnor Griffin?
Who else is going to play shortstop? Who's better at that position?
No, it's not even that. Like, you don't even have to, we don't have to go that next step. Who's better on the Pirates roster?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Except for Skeens.
Skeens can't play short, though. So,
Right.
So, you're talking about the thought for me is they did all these moves. There wasn't a move to fill that role. I think Nick Gonzalez or Triolo could easily jump into that. I think since they did not sign Konnor Griffin to a long-term deal, he's going to make the team.
That would be...
That's my personal opinion, because you can't hide that guy. I coached him with USA Baseball. I've been watching him for a couple years now, and he's a special breed of talent. But like, if you're going to play him in spring training, he's going to stick out so much further than you've ever seen before outside of O'Neal Cruz that you can't not let him. Even if he struggles, he's an elite defender. He's an elite base runner. He changes the dynamic of your entire team. Now, the better question is, once he makes the team, is he going to hit third?
No.
Okay.
Not initially.
So
why not?
If
Ford
the manager's
thinks he's
smart,
going to be on the team no matter what.
That's good news.
Yeah, I said that in September last year.
Okay.
If I'm the
I'm
manager,
bullish, but it's a unprecedented move after unprecedented offseason. So like, it changed everything. You've said we're going all in. You want to win? If you want to win, he's on your team.
Oh yeah,
Simple
your
as
division's
that.
gettable this year too. The Cubs did not do much this offseason.
The Cubs are going to be very good. Watch out, brother.
think so?
Watch out. I'm telling you right now, there's way more to that story. The Cubs are scary. The Brewers are scary. The Reds are scary. It's going to be a great division. St. Louis is going to be the Pirates from last couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to be okay. They're going to be young and hungry, and now you're going to see them possibly sign some veteran compliments. They're not going to be terrible. It's St. Louis. They're almost never terrible, but
Right.
the Cubs are scary, and Brewers and Reds. Like, it's not going to be – we're going to beat each other up. Those four teams are going to beat the crap out of each other.
I mean,
A dogfight for the NL Central. So I'll ask
we
you
got to
this.
win. We got to win the NL Central. That should be their only focus, because it's going to be very hard the way our division's set up to come out as a wild card victor. It's going to be very difficult, or unless all of us are, because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, those teams are going to beat
the
crap
rest
out
of the
each other.
NL is so good too that there's going to be a few, like the Dodgers, the Padres, there's
Braves,
the
the
Braves,
Phillies.
right?
The Mets just got hurt today, so that's
who's out for them besides Lindor?
Lindor.
Lindor,
Oh yeah, him, Jackson Holliday, and Corbin Carroll all broke the same bone.
Mm-hmm.
I had to read a Jeff Passan tweet to figure out what the hell was going on, like about the bone, because like I was like, I've never even heard.
Do you not
of
know
this
what
bone.
So yeah, it's right here. It
Yeah.
breaks, and it's it could be about a month to 2 months. A lot of guys have a really, really hard time like getting their power back or getting the trust back. It's really a load management thing. So the fact that these guys did it before spring training is huge, but they're still going to miss probably a month of the season pretty easily to be safe.
I said that I don't expect Jackson Holliday to be like 100% till June. Like by the time he gets back healthy and then ramps up, like he's not going to be
With the
Jackson
hamate?
Holliday.
With
Yeah.
the hamate? I don't know. Depends on when he did it. He'd probably be ready pretty quick.
He did it.
He's like 12,
February.
remember?
What?
He's 12. He'll like
Oh
Wolverine.
yeah, right. Yeah, he's got all the extra
Yeah.
bones in his body. But
Yeah,
he
exactly.
did it February 6th, and he's allegedly undergoing surgery tomorrow.
Yeah, so think about a month after surgery. That's when he'll really start load managing. So, I mean, you're talking about March 6th. So I think you may see him in a game or two at the end of spring, and then he'll break with doing rehab games. So it'll be faster, you think. But I've heard 6 months with this thing. It's all
me
about how
too.
your body responds and the pain management for you. Because like if you can get through it, it'll go really fast. I just did it with a kid I mentor, and he was back in a month.
Wow.
So
Now,
Jackson Holliday,
it wasn't clean, but it was back.
Jackson Holliday was our Iron Man last year. He was the only Orioles like starting hitter that didn't hit the IL.
So he'll be back in a month and a half. Yeah,
Dude, your lips.
he's a holiday. I've known him since he was like wee tall. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
But I'm ready. I'm ready to get into the Orioles, man. So what do you think?
We can go back
about,
and forth.
What do you think about all these Orioles offseason additions, man? Like, I am over the moon about this offseason.
I mean, the Pete Alonso one blew me away. I thought that was a brilliant move.
Oh yeah.
And you think you've seen homers. I mean, this guy just got into a better hitter's park, and he's got speed all around him, which, may not matter to most, but, like, at the end of the day, you don't want to see guys running rampant, right? So the way they structure this lineup, he may get pitched differently than he's ever been pitched before. His best year, he had Starling Marte going off, Lindor, all these guys also running all over the place right after they put in those big bags. So, like, I'm excited to see that team thrive in a different way with that new young cat behind the plate. I just think it's gonna be wild how good they could be, because you're talking about a lot of dudes coming off a down year too, and they filled every need they needed. They traded for some starting pitching. I love that they went out and got my boy Kittredge and brought him back, who they signed on a 2-year deal, because they're trying to put the right humans in this organization, and that's the way Albies thinks. It's the way good, I guess, baseball people think. Is like, you're never going to win with the best players. If you can mix the best players and the best people like LA has, and everybody knows their role and it's communicated, that's when you win. And the Orioles are going to have that. So that whole AL East should be very, very scared of the Baltimore Orioles. I'm telling you, it could be a great year for them.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. And to be honest, I wasn't bummed when we didn't get Fromber, because, I mean,
he didn't fit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wasn't really a culture fit. So I wasn't too bummed out about that, but I was really bummed out when Freddie Peralta got dealt to the Mets, because that's who I wanted.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, I think you would have over-leveraged yourself. Look at how that team is not going to be good just this year. It's going to be good this year. It's going to be good next year. And it's going to be good the next year. And then they could build up, that piggy bank to sign guys to stay. And then you're talking about building a team out for a while. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're looking at. I think they didn't expect last year the way it kind of went down, but I think they have all the pieces in place. They just released that they're putting in all the renditions and everything they did in spring training. They're going after it. They're one of the best in baseball at development and drafts. So, like, it's going to come from every angle, and that's what's cool. And money every single year is coming off the books of deferred money that they have that is going to help them grow. So you should be excited about the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, I'm very excited, but I personally would have packaged Kobe Mayo and whoever the hell they wanted from our prospect base to get Peralta, if Peralta was going to sign an extension, because the Orioles have shown they're willing to spend money with the Alonso deal. They finally put their money where their mouth is. So I wanted to trade for Peralta and extend him. I would have did Kobe Mayo and whatever other big name prospect they wanted, but Peralta's going to the Mets, and now it actually is a perfect segue to one of my other questions: is what the hell are they going to do with Mayo and Mountcastle?
It's a great question, but, like, it's an incredible place to be as a front office, because when you start to have a logjam, you can kind of pick and choose the guy that you want to keep. Say they keep one of them, and then you can use the other as leverage. So, like, I think that's what you're going to see. You can never have enough pitching. I think they could still go out and even bolster their starting rotation, push one of those guys to the bullpen, or add some more pieces to the bullpen. But that's what you're going to see the Orioles do, and the best teams do that. Like, and sometimes it's the big league piece. Sometimes it's the big minor league piece that nobody really knows about yet. But they're leveraging because they know the guy they actually want, right? This guy fits our system. He fits the clubhouse. He fits the culture. This guy doesn't as much. And if you're honest with that, dude, that's when you just get weird. The Brewers do a phenomenal job at that. Like, they just did it with the trades they made. They traded a great human being and a great player because they have multiple dudes that are very similar to his skill set to get better. And they did. They got better real fast. So that's the thing, is you have to make the decision to do that, especially if you want to be sustainable as a smaller market. And I don't necessarily think Baltimore's a small market, but it's a mid-tier. So you got to be the mid-tier.
Mid-tier's acceptable. I'll take that.
Yeah. Like, there's no tiers. It's L.A., and the Mets and New York Yankees and everyone else. It's fine. It is what it is. You still win if you're the bottom.
Yeah, but I personally would have non-tendered Mountie. He doesn't have any value. There's no reason for him to make the roster on opening day. Kobe Mayo, I was cool with trading if we got either a young controllable pitcher or someone like Freddie Peralta that we could extend. So I was cool with trading Mayo. But I want to keep Mayo, like, in theory, because he's willing to play everywhere. He already told reporters that today. He's willing to play wherever it takes just to see the field.
So there you go.
So
there you go. Like, you don't need more than that. Like, that's what you get to see when the back's against the wall to guys. You get to see what the real character is, right? And that's sometimes what these teams are doing. They're trying to kind of see how you respond, and they obviously like both guys. And both guys have had huge hype. It's like, which guy's going to be the guy that steps up in the way that they want him to? Like, because like at the end of the day, Mountcastle could be O'Hearn. You don't know.
Turn and burn, baby. I'm so happy.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but like it's all about, like, sometimes you just need another uniform. Sometimes you just need someone to actually want to know if you're capable of doing things. But sometimes they have a preconceived notion of all of it, right? So because the narrative gets out there and it doesn't leave. It's crazy. Because
the reason I have my point of view is because, to me, the DH position's already locked up, because Tyler O'Neill, if he is alive, is going to have to do some DHing. Adley and Basayo both are going to pretty much play every day. One's going to catch, one's going to DH. And then you got to get Mayo in there. Now, Mayo can play third while Westberg's out because he has an oblique. I doubt he's going to be ready for opening day, but allegedly he will be. So Mayo, you can put at third. That's cool. Blaze Alexander can play second till Holiday's back. That's fine. But you still have the logjam at DH when everyone's healthy.
Yeah, and I'll be interested. You may see Pete Alonso take a lot more of those at-bats than you think. We'll see. It depends on how those conversations went. But the roving DH is very tough. Obviously, it's worked some with you guys. But you'll find that maybe Tyler O'Neill, I don't think, would be a good DH. I think he's going to play, when he's healthy, he's going to play outfield, period.
You think so?
And the reason is like, yeah, because he's built stiffer. So you're talking about sitting for 30 minutes between at bats.
Oh,
now,
yeah, because he's yoked.
There's ways to combat that, yeah, and that's an easy way to get hurt. So it's like, you'll see guys, if you start paying attention, hey, that guy's made for it. That guy doesn't think too much. He's made for it, because if you're a thinker, you're literally going to take it at bat and sit for 30 minutes and think about it until the next one. So
yeah.
you kind of will start to see them. Those at bats will literally shift if they're good at evaluating this. They'll shift to the right guys, and you'll bolster your lineup like crazy, because all of a sudden you're like, okay, there's no fight here. It's these two guys. It's these two guys' situations, because it'll be with the catcher situation. You have two catchers. Yes, one of them could DH, but maybe only when they're hot, and that's a scary thing, right? If you don't have a third catcher.
I know. That's why I wasn't thrilled about trading Alex Jackson. But honestly, if Alonso wants to DH, I'm cool with it. I just want his bat in the lineup for all 162 unless he literally requests the day off. Alonso, there's zero reason that he should not be in the lineup one way or another for all 162.
Yeah, and he will be. I mean, and he may not DH. I really don't know. Because like that may be something he wants to do. He wants to play first base every day, and that's something they were willing to say yes to, which is great. Like, that means I would not bet on a guy like Pete Alonso, right? He had been a great defender the last couple of years. Everybody's been beating him up. Maybe that's all he worked on this offseason, and comes out and dominates.
Did you see
you don't
some
bet
of the
on guys
clips
that are
about him
different.
Today?
I didn't. I was working on a lot of other stuff.
It was the first like live BP between the pitchers that already reported and like the guys that reported early, and he was the hype man for every batter and talking mad shit to all the pitchers. But then afterwards, like when they were doing PFP, he went out there and was like showing them how to like field ground balls and like pick hops and stuff like that. So
he wants to win. I've heard nothing but incredible things about him. I've only met him in passing.
Goosebumps, man! I'm so ready for baseball. Come on.
Well, it's the disconnect of understanding. Like, he should have been a lifetime Met, and
absolutely,
I'm sad when things like that don't happen, because like he was a huge impact behind the scenes and on the scenes, not just on the field. But if you watched him in the dugout, he was the guy that would be yelling at dudes if they're not respecting the game or playing it properly. But he kept such a high standard. He was allowed to do that, and he did it. He did it every day.
Yeah,
and he went out and performed. So like, you don't get very, very few times you'll see one of your best players be the guy that is the hype guy on the bench, and also the guy that's willing to keep people accountable. You usually have one or the other, or zero, and this guy was doing a little bit of all of it, because that's his personality. So it's going to be great for those guys to have that dude, because when he tells one of these guys, like, dude, I could never hit a ball like that, because he will. Pete Alonso just told me I could never hit a ball like that. You win the home run derby if you show up. What are we talking about here? You know, and that means a lot for young players. That means a lot for dudes kind of fighting. And he was a guy that, like, big prospect to a certain extent, but a lot of question marks. And, you know, he had to fight his battles. But there's a lot of people that didn't believe in him. So somebody believing in you is a big deal, especially somebody like him.
Yeah, you mentioned lifetime players. That kind of segues into a question that Luke has.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, kind of hot topic. You already probably know what we're about to ask. With the Ozuna signing the other day, what does this mean for Andrew McCutchen? Is there still a role for him on this team? Is he going to be willing to come and play part-time? What's going on?
No, he will not be a Pirate.
No.
I figured.
And here, I've been called a lot. I've talked to, I don't know, probably 40 people over the last couple of days about him on other teams and stuff. And here's the thing. Ozuna, if you do it by X's and O's and just trying to bolster your offense, and he was the best player available.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Best right-handed hitter available.
Best hitter,
you can't
No doubt.
argue that. There's question marks because you change our entire team when you sign him. And they went into the offseason, from my understanding and from what they said, is like it was going to kind of be a rotating DH. You've had O'Hearn for a while, right? He got about 150 at-bats at DH last year. Brian Reynolds got about 70 at-bats at DH last year. They were going to rotate that. Now that's dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, without
so
doubt.
Our lineup and defense just got a bunch of question marks. Because if they're going to play Horowitz at first, that puts O'Hearn out and left every day, and that's the biggest left field in all of baseball. With O'Neal Cruz having to man a new guy at PNC, which I think he's going to have a huge year. And then Brian Reynolds, that puts Brian Reynolds, who both these guys, Brian Reynolds and Cruz, their defense were going up at the end of the year, but they were also getting rest.
Mm-hmm.
They were also getting able to work on the things they were able to work on because of that rest. That's why they were getting the rest. They're not going to be able to work like that. They're not get that rest. Brian Reynolds is playing right field every day.
You got Jake
every
Mangum.
day.
He's an elite defender.
But that makes Mangum not be able to play every day.
Right.
I know.
Because you're paying a dude.
He's more of like
see
a
what I'm
fourth
saying?
outfielder now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that makes you platoon O'Neal Cruz. You start questioning and bringing in a full-time, I'm not playing anywhere else DH. It changes a lot of things. That's the only way they could have signed Ozuna, and it's a lot of money, and the Pirates haven't given that money away. And then you look at the numbers of Ozuna, even with the bad year last year, huge boost.
Yeah, still an upgrade.
There's lower body issues. There's hip issues. I know the actual story behind the scene with all the off-the-field issues. Everybody I've ever talked to that knows this guy loves him. He's always been able to hit, but he gives you no value, zero value in any other way.
So I will say this about
That-
Mango.
that-
So
That just
Ryan
creates
O'Hearn-
roster issues. You could now hold on. I gotta get on the other side. Same thing with Kutch was the story. Thing is wherever Kutch signs, and there's plenty of interest right now, he's going to play outfield.
Yeah.
He's going to play outfield anywhere he goes.
He's willing to play outfield, is what he said.
He's not just willing. He's better at it than he has been in a while. Now I don't know the load that he can take because he hasn't been allowed to do that or able to do that at times. So it's going to be good. I think this is a win in every way except for the fans, the city, and the future of this organization, because there is a strain there. It was a communication problem, and that is what it is. The story will be told at some point by both sides. But they did what they set out to do, but they did create a lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks, yeah.
And it's going to be fun to see, because I think Donnie is an incredible manager, how it all comes together, how it's communicated, because I guarantee you some of these guys that I don't think O'Hearn thought he was going to play every day in the outfield. But
No.
that's right now, unless they move Horowitz to third, which is an option, and then bring him back into first, then put Mangum in left, which that makes you, in my opinion, the best lineup and the best defense if Horowitz can handle
That's
that.
fair.
And then you have, depending on the shortstop, but then your bench changes. You can't keep Gonzo, Triolo. Sawinski still plays as a viable option, but you're not going to get the bat you want out of him.
Yeah.
You just ask those questions. So, like, now we're missing that piece off the bench. We don't have a veteran off the bench, right or left-handed. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I could go on and on. I've been doing this for the last couple of days with some of the smartest baseball dudes on the planet, with every roster to see where Andrew fits best. And also, like, it was fun because that leads to every other conversation about baseball. So, yeah, that's what we don't think about sometimes. Just making the team better, but do they fit the team? And, like, we'll see how they make this fit because it's going to be different.
So I'll ask you this: you kind of were saying you talked to a bunch of other people about where Kutch could fit. Where are some of the fits that you see him sliding into the best? I heard Cardinals. I'm not really sure about that, but what do you think on that?
So yeah, Cardinals and the Nationals are a fit. Colorado would be a fit, and I'm going to group these three teams together for his presence. They would let him have the at-bats and the opportunity like crazy, like do whatever you want, because they want him there, right? Because they're trying to grow something, build something.
They're
going to learn from each other. They want the person, and Kutch wants to play and prove that he can play. So those are three teams that, like, are easy to say. Now, they may not be willing to say in August they'll give him this. They may not willing to say we're not going to trade you. So there's all those question marks. But, like, if my personal feeling is the Brewers are a great fit, especially after the trade. They're very left-handed heavy. Yelich would have to be okay with it, but they're good friends, so it's a conversation. He's been there before. I think indoors are great. I think Arizona's a good fit.
Yeah.
And all these are different type of roles, but all of them have him playing, 30 to 50 games possibly in the outfield at times. Maybe not a full game all the time, but against all the starters possible because he rakes starters. I think he was over 330 last year against starting pitching. So it's like you start looking at it and you say, I like Arizona. I like the Brewers. The Blue Jays are a giant fit now because Santander just got hurt.
Right.
5 months. So yeah, like, and that's what's going to happen. It's a little bit of a waiting game for him right now because you don't want to put yourself in a box. Like you don't want to jump on the first option, second option, and the calls are constantly trickling in because everybody thought he was going to be a Pirate. The narrative was out there that he couldn't play outfield. He can't play outfield. I mean, he's running good. He's hitting better than ever I've seen in years and years. But nobody came and watched him. There's one or two teams that came and watched him recently, but before that, nobody came and watched him. And that's the toughest part is, like, he's old and everything else. And I mean, he's a great person. He's a dear friend of mine. And, it has nothing to do with the Pirates. That's a secondary issue. It has to do with this guy's a legend in the game. He's one of the best players of the last 3 decades. No matter what you say, he's been on the cover of, MLB The Show, Sports Illustrated, he's MVP.
Game.
Yeah, and it's like, I hate what the game's doing to him. Not the Pirates, the game. Everybody thinks it's about the Pirates. It has nothing to do with the Pirates. If he was somewhere else, I feel like it's very rare now that we see, like, what can we do for this guy? Like, if I was the Pirates and I knew he wasn't going to come back, shoot, who can he play for? Let me call every team for him. Is this our guy? He just doesn't fit here right now. But maybe he will in, August.
Yeah, when you were kind of mentioning...
You trade back for him, but, like, at the end now is, like, you don't know. Because, like, it's just, like, you got to... I'm a big believer. Just treat the dudes the right way and do the right thing on all sides. Players treat the front office the right way, communicate properly, all of it. It should be mandatory, but it's never going to be. It's always going to be a business, and that's tough for you fans because you don't understand all that goes on, the lack of communication, the over communication stuff. But it's like when you just bet on the person, usually you win.
Right.
Usually you win. And if you don't, you failed with a really good dude.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, and I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for Kutch. I'm super excited for the Pirates, in a multitude of ways. So I think it could be a win for both, especially for the time being, and then wherever it goes, it goes.
Yeah. So as you kind of said, as you kind of mentioned, the Nationals, Rockies, teams that he could go in there and
Cardinals, yeah,
help the younger guys. I kind of had a dream scenario where, in baseball, injuries happen. He goes to one of those teams that's probably not going to be, playing in October, and then when end of July, early August rolls around, the trade deadline, Andrew McCutcheon's back on the Pirates because we might have an injury or two, and he's right back in there, and we're ready to make that playoff run with Kutch. Mm-hmm. So, as a big Pirates fan and as a huge fan of Andrew McCutchen, that was kind of the dream scenario that popped into my mind as you were saying that.
Yeah, and if it goes great, yeah, that it would be a viable option no matter what. But even if it doesn't, it'd be cool to see it happen. If people think it's it, have the conversation with them and say it's it. You're not playing good, but you don't have to. Kutch knows. Kutch knows he's a great self-evaluator. He's in a better mindset than I've seen in a long time. So, I'd love to see any of that happen. But the biggest thing is I just want to see that dude be a little kid again.
Right. You just want to see him play baseball and have fun, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a win for baseball. Having him around, watching Kershaw last year was a blast, man.
Yeah.
I became an LA fan. I was watching him do what he's doing. I was like, this is awesome.
And he's going to pitch in the WBC too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, part-time coach, part-time player. But yeah, why wouldn't you? Why would you want him around? He may pitch one inning against the Netherlands.
Right.
If you wanted to.
Hell yeah.
But you just want those guys around. I personally would love to see Kutch on that team because he won a gold medal.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know who's missing from that team? Mike Trout, man.
Couldn't agree more. But that's where I'm saying somebody should just say, hey, Trout's not going to come this year. This is why. You know what I mean? And
it's because his
that's the
insurance
problem.
didn't
Just
get
say
covered.
why. Is what?
They said he couldn't get his contract insured. That was what was reported.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
That's why a lot of the Puerto Rican guys are not playing in it because they couldn't get their contracts insured.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. There's ways around that. There's ways to take care of that.
But Trout, he definitely deserved to be on it. I do think Aaron Judge should have been the captain. I do agree with that. But Trout still should have been on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
But we kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the World Baseball Classic. We are absolutely massive fans of it. And I love that we assembled the Avengers God Squad this year. Because you got to think, we took Japan to the last game, to the last inning. And no disrespect, but we had freaking Lance Lynn pitching that game. We got Paul Skenes and Tarek Skubal this year.
That's right.
Yeah, you have a bunch of guys that want to be there. And that's the thing. Not just want to be there, but they're the best. Last time, that's what we had last time, too. We had a bunch of dudes that wanted to be there that it meant more to them to go do that. They didn't worry about getting hurt. They didn't care. They wanted to go represent their country. They wanted to go do something that you can only possibly imagine how cool it is until you're in it. But I do a lot with USA Baseball. The pride I have every time I put on that jersey is remarkable. When the anthem comes on before the game and you're not moving and you're standing there and you're just like, dude, this is way bigger than me. Because if Japan wins, they throw a parade, dude.
Yeah.
The whole country.
Oh, yeah.
If China wins, we don't. The World Baseball Classic has brought it back of how exciting it is to fight a fight in a game like it's your last.
Yeah.
Every game is a World Series game, but it's even more exciting in my mind. So it's I'm stoked. I think it's going to be a blast. I'll tell you right now, Miller, I just saw Miller's last pin before he left. He looks incredible. He hit 99 and almost broke the TrackMan, his last pitch. Bednar looks great. There's a lot of dudes on that team that don't have to guess what's going to happen. They're going in ready and know what's going to happen. I think they're going to dominate.
Yeah, that pitching staff is crazy. Yeah,
they're going to put Mason Miller in against the Netherlands or Czech Republic, and those dudes are going to think he's doing witchcraft.
He's got a little bit of witchcraft, I'm telling you. So.
Oh man, you go Skeens, and then you piggyback him with a couple other flamethrowers and go Mason Miller. Oh my god. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm so excited for it, man. And I also love it because I never can root for Aaron Judge. Ever. No circumstances. Not even when they're playing the Dodgers. What do you mean?
Because he's an Oriole fan.
You know who I root for.
He can beat everybody on the planet except the Orioles. Like, he's a great dude.
Oh, I'm talking
so
between the
good.
lines. We're talking between the lines. I don't wish any ill will. Like, I don't want him to, like, blow his leg out or nothing. Like, I don't wish him to get injured by any means. But I just hope he goes 0 for 3 with 3 Ks every time he plays me. I can't root for him. He plays for the Yankees. But when he puts on that Team USA jersey, I can root for him. And it's so awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
I had to make sure I had covered my bases there, but that kind of leads to another question we had. So we were talking about the absolute hosses that are going to be on Team USA, and one of them, you know, he just casually brought his 2 Cy Youngs in a backpack to an ARB meeting. So what do you think the fate of Tarek Skubal is going to be in 2026? In terms of being on a team.
On what team?
Do you think he's going to stay on Detroit, or do you think he's going to get shipped out?
No, he'll be there. I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to win a World Series. I'm not wondering if he's going to be there or not. They're going to be really, really good. So I think that our case is what I'd love to talk to you guys about. But like,
oh yeah,
I mean, good for him. He will not be a Detroit Tiger. I can't imagine where he's going to go right now off the top of my head. But there'll be plenty of suitors, more than you think. And in my opinion, the fact that they didn't trade him, this is their window.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll be a Yankee next year. Don't worry. That's just my luck.
Or a Met.
I would love for him to be a Met. I'd sign for that all day.
Yep.
So you don't think he's getting shipped out?
No, not unless they fall off the planet, which could happen. Baseball's that weird like that. I could also see him being a Ranger.
Okay.
That's sneaky. They did shed some payroll this offseason.
They did.
And they have 0 income tax. 0.
Yeah, in Texas. Yeah.
Big difference. Big difference.
I don't see how LA could get him, but they've done everything so well. Who knows? But that I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
I presented this to Jason Mackey, and he thought I was crazy. But I can prove it. So Skubal went in. They were $13 million off, and he won. Paul Skenes goes arbitration this offseason.
Oof.
First-time ARB guy, okay? I want you to – I'll paint the picture first. First-time ARB guy. You know how arbitration works? You guys know?
I'm very familiar with it.
Okay, so I want to put it in perspective. Yep. All right, Paul Skenes, 1 of 1. And, okay, let's first assume he stays healthy and he does the same thing.
And he regresses to a 1.98 ERA. Got it.
He's a 1.98 ERA. Yep, 1 point a year. Wins the Cy Young, right? Let's even go as far as the Pirates win.
Oh,
maybe
God.
they get in the playoffs. Okay, so, all right. Going to the ARB case, he is.
You're cooked.
Well, yeah, but you're painting a picture here. So we saw what Skubal did. $13 million difference last year. Skeens is going in as an NIL guy. As a award, you get rewarded. Like, he got $2 million from MLB for winning the Cy Young. He got, I think, $1 million for winning the Rookie of the Year. That's all brand new.
He also got a year off of his service time for winning Rookie of the Year.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. He's going in, and it's all backwards. They're going to have to change the whole system in the next party agreement, which is another problem. So they pay for young players. He's a 1-on-1 when it comes to talent, but he's 1-on-1 with the NIL stuff because he brings a value to a small market team that grants them to be a bigger, much bigger market. And he also has a girlfriend that brings money to the seats too.
That's right.
And I think he's going to use all of it to fight it. And I think he could ask for $30 million and they couldn't say no. And I don't know how they would fight it. I don't think he would go in with 40, but like you could genuinely argue it, but like 30.
So what are you asking me? Are you asking me, do I think he's worth it, or do I think he's going to get it?
I'm saying, do you see it? Because
I definitely see it.
16, what is it, like the first year? I'd have to look it up. I mean, it's in the teens. Best first year
I
ever.
assumed he was getting somewhere between 20 and 25 his first year because he's still going to have 2 more years of ARB, and you can't take a pay decrease. Oh, 3 more.
3 more
Excuse
years.
me. Even,
3 more years.
Even more proves
Yeah.
my point. You can't take
Unless
a
I think
decrease.
what you were thinking, Cole, by winning the rookie year, he's 1 year closer to free agency.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I meant. It was a lack of better terms. Sorry.
So he's got 3, but he's a
Yeah.
super 2. So he's going in, and it's like, here's my first year, but like.
So
Right?
I think
Even
it's gonna be
2020.
like,
So with that being said, Luke, what's the highest contract with the Pirates right now?
The highest contract with the Pirates, it's probably what, Reynolds, right?
Mitch Keller.
Or Keller.
I forgot about
Wow.
Mitch Keller.
So 17 million is the richest contract annual salary.
Annual
God.
salary, yeah.
So what was the number you had, Cole?
I thought he was going to get anywhere from 20 to 25.
All right, 20 to 25. If they're at 110, guys, or my question is like either they're all in, but like yeah, I mean they're gonna be there's dudes that are gonna be there that are gonna cost more money too. It's not just him. So
Right.
Oh, yeah.
it paints a picture that's different than ever before for the Pirates and Major League Baseball because like they're gonna have a giant decision to make. You know, win, lose, or draw because that's gonna be a lot of cheese. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think he gets shipped out over this?
I'm not gonna say no.
Oh God! Come on, Fort.
I can make an argument. Until we made all those moves, I could. Who was it? Detroit, from a rumor I heard, had McGonigal, Max Clark, another top 100 prospect, and a big league player for Skeens and cash.
Wow.
And if we could take away everything we did this offseason and trade for that and spend all of our money on pitching, and I would argue that we would be as good or better than we are now.
Well, yeah, because you're going to be a deeper squad. So, I get
I
that.
mean, we would have Max Clark in center. I don't know. You'd have to pick which one of the best shortstops you want, McGonigal or Griffin. So, like, we would have Jeter and A-Rod over on the left side of the diamond, right? It's
Jeter
just
and
like,
A-Rod is crazy.
I mean, it's just like crazy to think, like, that's how good that dude is, and that wasn't probably enough.
Yeah, that was just one of the offers too. Like there could have been others.
Well, think about like if he's
But that
got
offer's
3
never
years
made.
of ARB,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Who does?
And for
have a good
Detroit,
enough package?
they could just. I mean, LA's got. They all have good enough packages, but like you can't. PR wise, you have to be able to justify it.
Right.
So there has
Yeah.
to be some certainty that you're going to win. And if you get all the top prospects at the top level, none of them have a name in the big leagues. So you got to throw in that splash that like, okay, we got that big league guy too, and then those guys that are coming in have to start immediately in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In my mind, so it's like, okay, we're all in with this because
Yeah.
it's. I
Twitter
mean,
would
that's
burn
a
to the
crazy game.
ground.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a tough situation to think about because like it does put a ton of money into one hand, and you have no guarantee that he's, knock on wood, that anybody will ever stay healthy. You pray they
Yeah.
do. You pray he's going to be like Chapman, and I do think he's going to stay healthy. But Lord, I just got done with 6 days in the ICU from a infection I can't figure out.
It's
You know,
not
so you don't
if,
know.
it's when pitch with pitchers.
I don't think it's a win. I don't think it's a win. I think it's a because.
Okay.
I think
Velo.
sometimes it's a win. I think it's more because.
Yeah, I
The
feel
game
like with,
shifted
with
to-
the way Skeens prepares, it's better than anyone.
He
right?
missed a huge window of the because. So he never was in the realm of chasing velocity at
Right.
perfect games at 16. He wasn't a showcase pony as a pitcher or he was a two-way guy, and he did his thing, but he was more focused on the offensive side at that time. So guys like that have missed that window a little bit more, are staying healthier more. But yeah, it's all about how you take care of yourself, how passionate you are about your recovery and understanding your load, not management, just your load capacity, which isn't talked about enough. So yeah, it's an epidemic, but it's an epidemic that's being, driven by us creating velocity as the number one standard to get in.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to pitch, but to get in. It's how college recruiting works, and everything else. They'll take a guy that throws 100 instead of the guy that throws strikes and put up a 2 ERA.
Yeah.
It's wild, because
who
everybody
was it?
thinks they're the fix. We could.
I think it was the Nationals GM. He was like, I don't care how fast you throw ball 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. But, like, the thing is, there's not, with all the minor leagues being smaller, all the movement in college, there's not a chance for dudes to go, like, grow. Like,
Right.
our highest paid valued player is Mitch Keller. His first 3 seasons, he wishes he forgot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it made him who he was. But they bet on him, and it was a great bet. That guy's going to be a dog for us this year, and we're going to need him more than maybe anybody on our roster that is going to be on that bump outside of Skeens. He's
And
the guy
Luke
we
was
need
trying
the
to
most.
trade him for Kobe Mayo.
It wouldn't have been enough. His value, like Charlie Morton was getting his like annual $20-25 million because he can do what Mitch can do. He can go out and just throw strikes, pitch, and when you give him the ball, like he'll take the beating and he'll take 6 innings and give up 8 runs and throw 112 pitches because that's who he is. Where you're not going to do that to Bubba Chandler, you're not going to do that to Jared Jones. You're going to do that to young guy. Like as soon as that happens, you pull away. But going back to your thought, something for you guys to think about, like the whole thing of when a guy's going to blow, load management. They don't talk about high stress innings enough or high stress pitches.
No, it's just pitches. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like everything's different, but there's biomechanics that they can use. They have the Hawkeye system, all this stuff to measure, even an inch that your arm starts to drop down and get you just in game. Like, so there's ways to do it. I don't know who's perfected or quantified it enough, but everybody needs an individual plan. It's tough to figure out unless the player owns it the most. Because nobody on the planet knows your body or how you feel better than you. Then it gets into the decision of, if I say something, I may never see the field again right now.
Right.
So you pitch through those
Especially
things.
when they're young.
Yeah, so you have to figure out how to pitch through those things. And that led me to the last point since you said that. As a youngster, you're chasing optimal. You're never trying to learn how to adapt. You're never putting yourself in a vulnerable place. And that goes back to what I was saying a minute ago. I just had this conversation with a guy the other day about the force plates and everything else. And the questions I was asking him, he was like, I've never even heard any of those questions. I said, yeah, like I want to know when I want to have a bad hip and get on this thing and know what it looks like. Then I could use it better. I want to have a bad ankle, but you can't just say I want to roll my ankle and go hit on it. You got to try to manipulate what that would be like and do it. And then when you do, you could literally find your best numbers with a bad ankle. So you're not panicking when it happens in a game. You can play through it. That's old school, right?
Yeah, old
you
school
play through
baseball.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, but it's tough when you want to be optimal. But defining optimal is funny to me.
So I kind of had a hot take that I said to Luke a couple weeks ago that I want to get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
I think the White Sox can win it around 70 games, like 70 to 75 games this year.
Sorry. That was me saying,
Hear me out. Now, I prefaced it on health and all of the young guys taking a step forward.
Listen, I have no idea. You'd have to give me a minute to look at that. But yeah, yes, 100%. Any team can. I put my computer down because I don't know anything about the White Sox right now. Nothing.
Here, I'm pulling up their roster right now.
Yeah, I know some of the young bucks. I was in the prospect breakout game with the Rockies. We beat them, so I'm just saying. But yeah, they do have a rich pool of talent. It just depends on what they're chasing. So if they want to win 70 games and that's the focus, yeah. If they're trying to figure things out, I don't know.
Shane Smith was good last year, and then you got Sean Newcomb they brought in decent. They got Sir Anthony Dominguez in the bullpen. They got Jordan Hicks in the bullpen. Kyle Teal and Edgar Caro at catcher is not bad. Kyle Teal was a top prospect. Murakami,
he'll be fine. He'll be good.
Yeah, Murakami, we don't know what he's going to be, but if he is as good as everyone thought initially he was going to be, there's 25 homers in your lineup. They got Acuna's younger brother, Luis Angel at second, not bad. And then Colson Montgomery is supposed to be the truth, so he might take a step forward. Benintendi's a good veteran present. I mean, Brooks Baldwin's not a bad right fielder. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs or nothing, but that division's weak, and they could take some people by surprise.
You think that division's weak?
I mean, the Tigers are good, but that's about it.
Cleveland?
Cleveland, yeah. Don't forget about the Tribe.
I never know what to expect with Cleveland.
Playoff.
Yeah, they find a way every year to win 88 to 90 games and sneak in there.
That's what I say about the Brewers. I say the Brewers.
That's what I say about the Brewers every year too.
Every year with players you've never heard of.
It's the same type of deal.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious that's not talked about more. But yeah,
I think the Class A thing is bringing Cleveland down. It's like a wet blanket on them.
They literally took off. After
that's
they
true.
got him out
Yeah,
of the clubhouse.
after he was off the team, that's when they turned it around.
That's true.
But they did a great job of protecting the guys from it. You didn't see any of those guys being out in front talking about it or anything. It was just like anybody that did it, the front office jumped out in front of it and made their statements and took over the media from asking these guys or putting pressure on it. That's new. Back in the day, it wouldn't matter. They've been in there just grilling you. So, it is a weaker division. I think the Twins are going to be better than you think. I think Detroit's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the White Sox, they're the Miami for me.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do? Because they're going to be scary enough that they can beat you in any given day. They're going to have a lot of young arms too that nobody knows about that are going to be better than you think because stuff is real nowadays. So it really boils down to what are they chasing, and they're going to beat some teams. And everybody, what just happened?
Yeah.
Especially if it starts off really well.
Right. If they win 8 games in a row in May, that's all anyone's going to talk about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you have young players, you have a lot of uncertainty, but the ceiling is really high. We're trying to figure out the floor. What do we know we're going to get? And that's what's tough. Dude, there's no reason they could rattle off, and Chicago has money, right? So they could rattle off, and you look up in July, and you're like, oh crap, these dudes are about to trade people. These dudes are about to bolster their lineup. What are we talking about? It's the Chicago White Sox. They've been irrelevant, but they've been crushing in trades. They've just traded everybody. So they have a pool of dudes that if they do anything this year, they're gonna have a ton of value to trade.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact they got Luis Angel Acuna for Luis Robert, I feel like that was a great deal on their end.
Yeah, that's a
good
player,
it is in the moment. It is right now, right? That's what you do, right? If you're in a position, it's you wait until you got the guy you want, and they may have just replaced the guy. Yeah. Right? Really, I think
Luis
they've done
Robert's
a lot of smart
player,
things.
But he was burnt out there.
Yeah, but he doesn't fit on this team anymore.
Yeah.
Even if he was as good, Mike Trout type good, he's been at certain stretches of his career, he still doesn't fit. He hadn't fit the last 2 years because they're not winning. So now it's flip-flop.
Flip-flop, yeah. So I'll go back to this. I kind of thought of a question as you were saying it. With the whole Class A deal, Luis Ortiz was, in on that as well. When the Pirates traded him for Horwitz, do you think they kind of knew that was about to happen, or it was just kind of dumb luck?
Dumb luck.
Okay.
Jeez.
My theory, and some of the people I've talked to, is Class A probably had the connection, and Ortiz got in the middle of it.
Got in the middle, okay.
Or Ortiz, they're talking about he did it once or twice, and you almost feel bad for him.
Right.
He probably looked up to Class A. I don't know any of this. I do know Ortiz. He's always great to me. He was like a little puppy dog. So I hate it for him.
Yeah.
And you hate it for everybody in general. And the one thing that nobody's talking about, they messed up. But, we're not doing enough to protect them. We're not doing enough to keep them away from it. And Major League Baseball is making $1 billion off of it. So it's tough to swallow when you're thinking about, okay, so that's $1 billion. I'm not positive in this. I don't even know if it's in our shared revenue with the players.
It's probably not. It's probably going to get negotiated this offseason.
Yeah, well, that 9,000 billion other things.
Right.
We're not going to have a 2027 season.
I was skeptical until the other day.
Kyle Tucker was the nail in the coffin, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think
the outrage that came with that.
There's so much more.
That's just one piece of it.
Nobody's talking about NIL. Like, that's going to be brought up.
Yeah.
Like, if for example, I'll use McCutcheon for example. Do you know McCutcheon's NIL value?
No,
Don't worry, I'll wait.
It.
Just take a wild guess.
Like what he brings to a city?
Any city he goes to, what's his NIL value?
I mean, between the jersey sales and the butts and the seats, I mean, it's got to be like tens of millions.
7.5.
7.5.
When I say NIL value, like that's like right. So when people argue about like money for these players, eventually our union is going to say, "Bro, if he's there, he's worth this much." And Paul Skenes could be the guy that can nail that in the coffin because he's been an NIL guy.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Konnor Griffin's been an NIL guy, a high school NIL guy.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to change this entire thing because, like, that's when I was like, oh, crap, that's the nail in the coffin for me. Because, like, what are you going to – I say this all the time. We talked about this last time I came on. It was like, what are you going to do to the Dodgers? Tell them it's $300 million? You broke the system? And they're like – and they literally come back, okay, well, they have to spend $180 million. That's only fair. And they can quantify why. And the Pirates are going to be like, no, wait, hold on. Tampa Bay, whoa. Athletics, nah. Right? Have to.
Athletics are low-key nasty.
Problem. Oh, they're playing chess.
I know.
Mm-hmm. They're going to have a team going into Vegas that's lights out.
Yeah.
Who was it?
With a
McNeil
lot
they got
more
from
money.
the Mets for a salary dump?
But they also signed two of their youngest players after the year before signing two of their youngest players.
I know.
Yeah. They're
I'm
going to be
proud
good
of
for
them.
years to come.
Good for
They're
them.
going to nail those guys right into their prime. It's perfect.
Dude, we
went
to
I hope
an
there's baseball, guys. I hope.
Yeah,
We
if there's a
Orioles
shortened
game.
season or no season, that's going to be really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Nick
if it
Kurtz,
doesn't
dude,
start,
at
I
that game,
don't know. Oh yeah, big Amish.
real deal. He had like 100+ exit velo on every at bat. Wouldn't you say, Luke?
Something like that. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Shout out Lancaster, PA.
I know. Yeah.
Get a load of this
He
guy.
takes his horse and carriage every day to the ballpark.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you genuinely think we won't play? I mean, there'll be baseball. It just may not be big league players. I'll be interested to see how that plays.
That would
with the
be
minor
so
league guys,
weird.
too.
That would be so. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say about that. But I don't know. We might all have to be fans of the Korean Baseball League next year. I don't know.
No, I think indie ball would be the way.
True.
No.
Washington Wild Things, baby. Let's go.
Be careful.
No,
I
there'll
think
be somebody
so.
playing. There'll be somebody
Yeah.
playing.
The Savannah Bananas will take over.
They'll
finally.
100. Yep, I'm glad you said it. That's exactly. They'll jump on national television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already on
You know-
like ESPN Plus regularly.
Luke, I forgot to tell you, I graduated high school with a guy who's now a pitcher for them. Shout out my man Alan Sadoff.
Let's go.
Can I tell you? I'll tell you an idea I have, no matter what. So, last time we were kind of in that thick, and it was getting into spring training. They opened up IMG, and a bunch of guys went down there and trained, and were getting ready because they knew it was going to be pretty close, which it was. My thought was, if I see our player rep in this region, I'm going to tell them this: do sandlot games. So go across the country, and say you come up this way. You grab every dude that plays professionally, and even if you have to grab like guys that are just out of the game, you throw it on national television. You play a sandlot game anywhere. They just keep popping up around leagues. So the players are still playing, so whenever it comes, wherever it happens, it starts. But like, how cool would it be? It's just a live on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be so sweet.
School.
Yeah,
That would be
Right?
so sick. Like a
Even
Field of
if it was
Dreams.
a Field of Dreams, yeah. Or like even if it was like 3 players just show up at a high school, and they say, "Hey, we need more players," and they just keep showing like other pro guys show up and they play the best local high school players.
that
Do
would
the
be
guys get to
sweet.
use metal bats?
both sides.
Both sides. Oh,
Think I'm gonna go out and play against these kids and let them use a metal bat? Of course I will, because Mason Miller's gonna be on the mound, kid.
No, I know, but I'm saying, do you think Aaron Judge is gonna be allowed to have a metal bat?
No.
60 feet away from a 17-year-old pitching.
No. But like, just like any way, shape, or form, whether you can get a group of both sides, big leagues, certain places, for a series or whatever, but like sandlots just breaking out across the board, across the country would be so cool to see. I think fans would eat it up, and it'd be for the players, because if they're arguing, it is what it is. But these guys are like, I can still go play.
Yeah, they want to play baseball.
Yeah. When we could get sponsored and everything else, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I thought of a question on something you said earlier when we were talking about like going from like college to like pros. What do you think of the Giants and Vitello? I'm intrigued. Your thoughts?
It's maybe one of the most exciting things for me to pay attention to this year. Like, I will be watching San Fran almost as much as the Pirates, because Buster Posey did something, and I think it could be brilliant.
But it could be bad.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of culture do you think Vitello is going to bring to the Giants? Is it going to be more of that, like, raw college baseball type, or is it going to be, more of like what we're used to from an MLB manager?
He's got to be true to himself.
He's not going to change. He wouldn't have taken this job if he was going to change. I think he's going to have a pulse of the guys, and the moves and everything that are made are going to be unprecedented. So I think it's going to naturally be shaped by whoever's in the clubhouse. I do think you're going to see more of his type of guys, of that raw, high energy, but it's a test. It's a test that could go incredibly well, and the baseball industry will be like, what just happened?
Yeah, if it goes well, it's going to be like a copy.
There's a lot of nerds out there that are not going to be able to quantify any of it, and they're going to hate it because the human being does matter. And Tony Vitello understands that as good as anybody, and X's and O's aren't a problem. He's got all of it combined, and he's usually a couple steps ahead. But Pro Bowl's different, and I'm wondering how far can he go. But Pat Murphy is Tony Vitello. Just Tony went faster.
Right.
Pat Murphy, you guys
Pocket Pancakes.
Yeah, but that was in the middle of their best playing. And nobody talked about the fact that he took the attention off the team, off all the young guys having to answer all the questions. It was the most brilliant move I've ever seen on a human aspect of, I'm doing this on purpose, so I'm getting national attention, and I'm taking more interviews, and my team's just focused on playing. It was brilliant.
Like you said,
letting the players I know Pat, and that's Pat to a T. Yeah.
So.
Yep. He was playing chess, because like he was able to take all the hard questions, and none of these guys were hearing every single day. I mean, second time you've won more than 10 games in a row, you're at 13 now. He's like, then he pulls out the pancakes. Yeah. I mean, and it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's literally doing circles around these people. They don't know it. He just fed them the next story, dude. Right? So good.
That's smart. But another question I had from something we talked about. So, Orioles, Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Someone of that four is not making the playoffs. Now, I know who I think it is, but who do you think of that four? It could be more than one, but at least one of those four, who do you think's not making the playoffs? Because think about it.
Man.
Because that means everyone else, the other divisions don't get a wild card team, and that's just not. I mean, I'm looking at the divisions here, and it's like you said about Cleveland. They'd be out. Royals would be out. Astros would be out.
Texas
Rangers would be out. The
Seattle.
A's maybe would be out.
Yeah, I think that'd be impressive.
I can tell you who I pick of the four if you want, if that helps you.
No, it's not about. I mean, I'd love to hear. It won't. I don't know if it'll influence me at all. Yankees?
No, that wasn't my choice.
Oh, okay.
I'd love it, but it wasn't my choice. Forever 27, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's tough. I'm gonna go Boston.
That's
my
who
pick.
Cole was thinking. That was his thought. Yeah.
I could 100% regret that.
They're
But-
banking on a lot of question marks.
They're not as big as you think, but they don't have the depth that all the other teams have.
But yeah, if a couple guys go down, they're not looking. Their roster's not looking as good.
Yeah, if Roman Anthony misses any
No.
time, they're in trouble.
Yeah, and so yeah, that would probably be my pick.
Mm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
The bottom of the tier right now for me in that division. The Blue Jays need. The Blue Jays have a different type of clubhouse, so it's hard to.
And
bet
they got
against them.
better this offseason.
They got
they
yeah, they
lost
just went to the
Bo,
World
but they
Series,
got Dylan
better, yeah.
Cease, who I think is really good.
They needed the Cease more than they needed Bo.
I agree.
You think so? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're still now.
Trey Savage year 2 is going to be having him
Correct,
for a full
and then-
season is going to be a huge boost as well.
And they also showed that they're willing to do creative moves to get the best players on the field. I'm telling you, they'd be better with Kutch. Now,
Yeah.
So,
They could use an outfielder. Yeah, no more
they
Santan
could
there.
use it. Yep, outfielder and a guy that could DH some and be a bat off the bench. Yeah, like that's where I get to is like, okay, the depth in that and the bench bats because they're all really good teams.
Right.
But that's what wins you championships.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
I think the Orioles are so hungry. I don't know if we're going to win the division. I won't say all that, but they're not missing the playoffs. They're so hungry and so pissed off about how last year went. They're not missing the playoffs this year.
Luke, make sure you cut that exact quote.
Yeah, that exact. Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
then I promise I'll come back on if they do or if they don't. I'm coming back
All
on.
right.
We'll talk playoffs because,
Deal.
You think that, but it's baseball. You
Yeah.
don't know. It's crazy. That's the best part. You don't know. You just never, ever, ever, ever know.
I don't know if my blood pressure can handle another down season like that. At least not while we're expected to be good.
It's Albie's is top tier. I think he'll
I
have
believe
those
it.
dudes going. Yeah.
I've been saying on
Well,
this
this-
podcast because of what you said about Albie, about how I'm high on him. So I'm trusting your word for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know the guys that were up for that job, and even the dudes he beat out proves even more that this guy's a baseball dude and a baseball X's and O's wizard at times. So he sees it in HD sometimes.
So I got one more Pirate question that I wanted to ask
Shoot.
in terms of catchers, what do you think our kind of situation is going to be going into opening day? I have my opinions on it. I want to hear yours.
I want to hear yours first, actually.
So the way I see it, and I've had conversations with several people, I think that it's really Henry Davis's spot to lose as an everyday catcher. Just seeing the way that he worked with the pitching staff last year, how he progressed defensively. And, he came up because of his bat. People forget that, that first year.
In right field.
Yeah, they put him in right field, even though he was kind of a liability out there. Not a liability, but he's not an outfielder. So they brought him up just for that, just because of his bat. And now it's kind of flipped. And now it's the defensive side is so good. He's working with these pitchers so well. If we can get really anything out of him offensively, I feel like it's a huge plus. And then, if Bart can go in there and play 40 to 50 games, he's a solid backup. And then you have Rafael Flores. If someone has some kind of serious injury as well, he's another good bat as well. So
and
who?
Andy Rodriguez. If he stays healthy,
and we have Endy as well. Yeah, and
don't forget my guy.
Yeah, your guy. So where do you stand on the catcher situation? It's interesting.
So I'm going to do what I love to do is let me give you my best for everybody. Doesn't
Okay.
happen often,
I'm
but I
here
do
for
with
it.
this. So best for everybody is Henry Davis is the starter, without question. Right now there's no question at that at all. I think Henry Davis is going to be good on both sides of the ball this year. But everyone else doesn't even come anywhere near him behind the plate. I think that's hilarious because he couldn't catch a couple years ago.
Right. It's like we were throwing him in right field, yeah.
Yeah, so he can hit. Whether he makes in-game adjustments, whether he decides what type of hitter he wants to be, those are the questions I have. Because of what he did behind the plate, I cannot ever bet against him. I think he's smart enough to understand the things I can see plain as day.
Right. And he's such a hard worker. You can see it. Correct. You can see it.
And he just needs to change his work. And I think that could happen. So, but best for everybody. Joey Bart has a huge spring. Gets traded. Andy Rodriguez shows that he is more than capable of floating around like he used to.
He can play more positions, yeah.
I think it's going to keep him healthy and be the backup catcher. And then let Flores stay down as a reserve because he's a bat first guy, and play a lot of first base. And then we have a couple dudes that are defensive first guys if anything happens. But best case moving forward for everyone is Joey Bart gets traded. We have Indy and Henry, and I think Indy's bat's going to take off this year if he can stay healthy. And I think the same exact thing with Davis, but both those guys have a rapport with the pitching and the ability to pull out the best out of those guys, and they like to work together.
Right.
They're like a team, where like Joey's Joey and Henry's Henry when they're together, which is fine too. But the better version is it doesn't matter who's catching, the pitchers love it because they're always in the meetings together. That's how me and Russell were. I went to the meetings a lot of times for Russ and Barajas because I loved it so much. And that's what you need. That was where I was at. The guys, I'd get the guys all fired up and ready to go, and then Russ would be like, "We good?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. They're ready. Let's roll." Because he knew what to do, but he wanted to go get his body ready, and that was a waste. And sometimes it is a waste of time, but for me, it never was because it's about him. But for some guys, it's not about them. It's about them. So, yeah, I think that's the best case for me. And if that's not, I think the easiest thing they're going to do, and the typical what Pirates would normally do, is Indy and Flores are down in AAA, and Bart and Davis are up. I don't think you're going to get the same Bart as a backup. And they may try to split the time, and I don't think you're going to get the best team if you do that. So that's why I say it. I think Indy making the team and being a viable option to move around and catch is huge for us.
I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Awesome.
And if you have Triolo and Nick Gonzalez on the team, or even just one of them, that allows you to carry a third catcher. If you felt like, I'm kind of scared, and then you could just find the best defensive dude on the planet, pay him a couple $1 million and say, you're going to sit here until we need you to catch. You may get 4 bats all year. Whatever.
I had one last question, and it kind of is perfect for the conversation because it involves a catcher. Please, for the love of God, tell me that Adley Rutschman will return to form this year. He is my favorite active player in all of baseball. Please, for the love of God, tell me he will return to form.
So, I don't know this. I know how his year was. I don't know if he wasn't hurt. I don't know if he was playing.
He confirmed it.
So, the thing is how real, how bad. And
it was a thumb injury.
So that doesn't make anything easy. So it's the question for me is, how do they balance the two guys? If they live off of Rutschman's last year and that kid starts going really good, I think it's a giant mistake. If Rutschman gets the lead and it's a balance, no matter what, I think that's good because you don't want to give up on Rutschman, even if he fails for a while, because he's going to make the staff better. He's going to make that kid behind the plate better. He's going to make the team better, and it's find that balance. And I think there's no lose for Rutschman or the Orioles. Just that's the question. Only question I have, since he was banged up last year, whatever, bad team, but because he was banged up, he was fighting, could be the leader. He had no out and nowhere to put that negative energy into something positive. So, and I've been there. It's tough. So that guy's going to be fine.
I hope so, man, because we have him this year and next
No
year,
hope.
and then he's a free
There's no
agent.
hope there. No hope. Well, that's a way to fix it. Sign him.
I want to. I wanted to sign him when we called him up. It's my favorite player.
Yeah. So it's like you just gotta look at it what it is. Like they committed to the other guy, right? And
Yeah,
then they
Basayo's
signed-
already locked in, yeah.
So like lock them both in. Have the
That
best
would be
tandem in
so
baseball for a long
sick,
time.
but I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah, and partially because a lot of times they just don't go ask. Do you know that? But you didn't know that. That's
No,
sad,
I didn't
isn't it?
know that. But
But
it
also
makes
You're
that's
sense.
saying
both
like
sides.
from the player's side, the player doesn't ask
Both
about
sides.
it.
Both sides.
Okay.
Both sides.
It's just stagnant, no communication.
That's why everybody's frustrated at Kutch and any player that says anything because they don't do it. But like that's all they did in the 90s, early 2000s.
All right.
So-
Well, we could sit here and talk ball for hours. You said that at the beginning
No
of the
doubt.
show, but we've already taken up a lot of your time. But Luke has a fun game for you before we send you on your way for it.
We have a fun
go.
game. I like how you keep us engaged. You're asking us questions as we're asking you questions. We actually have a kind of small quiz for you, a 9-question quiz.
I'm in school right now too, guys. Come on.
What's
I
that?
gotta take a quiz tomorrow. What are we doing? I got a quiz tomorrow.
You should know the
You're
answers
in your
to this
pop
one.
quiz right now, though. In your MLB debut, can you name the batting order, the nine players that were in the starting lineup that day?
Lord, no. I hit third though. Struck out 4 times too. Killed it. Yeah. I can't. I literally have no idea.
No clue.
Really?
Okay.
No, I was literally there for right at a month. I got like 3 at bats, and they're like, "Hey, Mac, you're gonna get to start the last game of the season." I was like, "What?" Like I knew I'd be fine. I knew I'd be fine catching, but I was like, "What? I'm gonna get like as many at bats in one day that I have the whole season." And then now I'm looking up, I'm like, "I'm hitting third. What are we doing?" No. And then Jeff Supon's on the mound. I'm like, "I have no shot today." This guy's last game. Sure enough, first pitch. I'm like, okay, I can see the ball well. And I hit a missile foul. I'm like, oh, this guy's got no shot today. Somehow I feel good, and I can see the ball. And then 6 pitches later, I'm fighting my tail off. 3-2, ball this far off the plate. He gone. Michael, back to the dugout. And I'm coming back out, running out, and I'm like, I'm still happy. I don't care. I'm in the big leagues. And the umpire goes, "Hey, Rook, man, you better swing. You need a telephone pole. That guy's last game in the big leagues is today, and he's going to get it all." I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
He
So
was
next
getting,
three bats,
he
Jeff
was getting
Subban
ball 6
punched
inches
my
off the
ticket.
plate.
Yeah, Jeff Supon's throwing 86.
Yeah.
I was in heaven. He's just hitting a gnat just outside the zone every time anyways, and then he's like, all right, fine, 10 inches off. He
Yeah.
gone.
Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Well,
there you go.
Fort, I do appreciate you. Luke, you have anything left to say to him before we get out of here?
That was one question. I just tried to push you away. You like that? That's how I get my A's on all my quizzes.
There you go.
Did a great job of it.
You're welcome. Yep. That's what I
Luke, you
try
got
to
anything
do.
left to say?
Thanks for coming on for it. Yeah, it was awesome. We look forward to hopefully seeing you on opening day, on the Pirates home opener. We'll be there. Looking forward to the season, man. It's gonna be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I keep trying to get the youth back into this game a lot more. I love the fact that you guys love the game. I don't do a lot of these like I used to, but when you guys called, I was like, dude, I love these dudes that are young and hungry about the game, and they understand it in a way a lot of people don't. But yeah, keep growing, keep doing it.
go.
It's good for the game. It's good for you guys because this game's the best.
It is.
It is.
That means
all right.
so much. That means so much to me, Ford. I greatly.
I mean,
appreciate
I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to everybody. I genuinely I love that you guys took it upon yourselves to make this podcast and run, because the game needs you guys. So keep it up.
That
Easy.
means the world to me, man. Because we started this podcast. It's been a little over a year and some change, but we've never missed an episode, and we cover baseball. So being able to have you on, have your time and your thoughts and opinions, and just the fun banter, it means the absolute world to me, and I'm extremely grateful for it. So thank you so much for it. really hope to have you on, and you can bet that we're going to be there for that pregame show, and I will bring the jersey. I promise you that. I'm going to
Then
order
we'll be
that thing.
friends. Then we'll be friends. Like we talked about.
Yes!
Friends,
I'm
let's go.
clipping it. I'm clipping it.
Yeah.
I'm clipping
That's
it
good.
and pinning it to the Twitter.
There you go. I love it. All right.
But
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
I appreciate y'all so much. You know how we end this.
We're not going to apologize for winning.
No, we are not. We will see y'all next week. See ya.